Welcome back to Active and Healthy with Gina, and I've got two guests in the studio. I have got Rashid, who had so much fun last week that he's come back again this week, and I've got Bjorn with me. So yes, these are the youngsters, but this is to show ageless grace can be done by anybody. So today we're going to be starting with our spine. Gentlemen, hands up, and we're reaching forward and back. So this exercise is working on all 26 of your vertebrae. And as I said last week, remember the voice of the body is always wise. You move at your own speed and pace. So hands, stop in front of you, and we're taking them to the side, back to the front, other side. Do it in time to the music. So you're twisting, very little gentle, turns in your spine, and the head is going the same direction. Not too fast over there, so center. Side, center, side. So I hope you've got your sensible chair at home and you're seated, barefoot. Guys have got their socks and shoes off. Going to be able to help you move easier, particularly with the second exercise that comes up. Lovely. Last one, and hands down by your side, and we're just slipping down the side. So we're bending to the side, letting our hands drop. We don't have to go all the way down to the floor. But you're stretching out of your waist, you're using your oblique muscles here, and having this spine go side to side. Lovely. Very good. Now we're taking the hands up overhead and reaching up to the sky. So you're stretching slightly across the body, side to side. There we are, just getting warmed up, loosening up the shoulders. Okay, the next one is all going to be about hips and knees, and it's going to be quite active. So get ready. Are we ready to go? Come on, tap these feet. Lovely. A little marching arms as well, get this heart rate going. And we're going to take one leg in and out. Here goes. One side, doesn't matter which one. Out to the side and back. So we're going to do it in time to the music. That's good. Oh yeah. Hand out as well. Come on, Bjorn, let's get more limbs moving. We get more of the heart going. Fantastic. In and out. Going to the side. Side. Nice big stretch. We're moving this hip, moving the hip flexors. Last one this side, and we go the other side. And lift it up and out. Out. And point to that foot. Legs to the side. Out.
Listen to the midnight radio.
That's great. So we're just getting these hips up and moving in comfort. Back to the center and back to a lift and down. Up, down. And you lift as high as is comfortable for you. If you can go high, great. Even if it's just a little lift off the floor. Maybe that hip's a bit stiff. But you just do as much as you can. How are we doing over there? Come on, you guys are young. Let's get these legs up a bit higher. Up. And keep breathing, kind of important. And back to a faster march. Very good. And we're going to turn it out to a little kick. So we're going to kick straight out in front of us. Alternate legs. That's right. So it's amazing just how much movement you can get and everything from the core, hips, knees, feet, ankles here. Point to the opposite foot. Don't have to touch it, but you can just keep pointing. That's good. Lovely. Slow that down, back to a little march again. And we're going to turn it to a kick and heel out to the corner. Out. Bit like a Cossack. So heels out. One of the reasons you don't need shoes, it's easier on the ankles, it's easier on the feet. You don't need any weight. And the more body parts you move, come on, we're going to get this heart going. All done seated, and this is only 10 minutes. We'll be doing in total. Back to marching.
Midnight radio. Don't wanna wait all my life.
Okay, now we're going to stop with one leg in front of us. Keep it quite close, because I want you to tap and cross in front. This is great for the hip flexor, and you might only be able to manage at home with just a little rotation. And for anybody who's interested, I've had a total hip replacement, so you can get great flexibility back. That's nice. Last one this side. Change sides. One leg fairly close. We can tap and we cross. Oh yeah, I can see Bjorn's got nice movement over there. Well done. Great, Rashid. Fantastic. We've got to be balanced, so we've got to keep finishing it up. Okay, now the last one we're going to do is very expressive. It's going to be using our imagination, it's using all our upper body, it's using our arms. And we are going to be painting today. So guys, grab your canvas, stick it in front of you, run your hands around the edge, nice white canvas. And we are going to draw a beautiful landscape today. So let's start with a little charcoal pencil and just draw your outline. So I've got some mountains. Oh, maybe Table Mountain. That's got a beautiful shape to it. But you draw your mountain any way that you want. Little crags. So you're using your imagination, and change your hands. With the other hand, you're going to draw some trees. It's all right, there's no marks here for art appreciation. This is your brain, you're just visualizing lots of little trees, maybe some little tufts of grass down the bottom. Very good. I'm not very good at drawing, but over on this side I'm going to draw a little person. So a little head. Mine's going to be a stick man, because that's going to be as good as it gets, really. Or a couple of them. I believe Bjorn's very good at painting, so I'm sure his picture's going to be much better than mine. How's your painting going, Rashid? It looks good. I like modesty. That's what I like. Okay, so let's get our paintbrushes. Reach down. I'm going to start with kind of a grey-brown to do my mountains to begin with. So do your mountains. It can be, maybe you've got watercolours. Maybe you've got pastels. Maybe it's oil paint, so it's thick pieces of oil that you're doing on your table mountain, or my table mountain. You can take it sideways. And then I'm going to get some black on the other side and just do the outline a little closer. Blue for the sky. Come, I want a nice big blue strokes up the top. You should let me go. My canvas has changed size. Is yours the same size you started with, or has yours got bigger? I always find my imagination runs riot when I start drawing. Nice blue sky. How about some little white clouds? Other hand, let's grab little white fluffy clouds. Okay, quickly sign it. Down the bottom. I'm putting Picasso, seeing if I can sell mine. What name's on yours? Surname. Oh, his surname. And you? Bjorn. Ah, I like it. And Rashid. Okay, what else? Oh, I think we still need to put big yellow sun. We've still got room for some sun up there. I think mine's a bit childlike, but heck, painting was never my forte. But in this process, you've been keeping your whole body, your shoulders moving. How about a little lacquer sprayed over the top? You don't want it running everywhere. And the other hand. Now that it's dry, you're going to carry it carefully. You're going to stick it on an easel. You're going to stand back and have a look at it. Well done, guys. 2 masterpieces. Legs are warmed up. Spines are warmed up. Those are our 3 exercises for today. Spaghetti spine, our rocking rockets and these legs moving, and we're expressing ourselves with drawing a beautiful painting. Simple, easy, 10 minutes of ageless grace. Hello and welcome back to Active and Healthy with Gina. And this week's subject is going to be the language of aging. All these words that we use around being old. Some of you who might have seen the very initial live video that Faisal Syed did with me to talk about the start of this show, he used the word elderly, which I reacted to and said, no, it's not elderly, it's senior. And I think part of it is this perception that we have at different ages as regards what is old. So I asked some of the young people around the studio today what is old to them. And to somebody who's 24, they said 70. Somebody else who was quite young said 48. I said, gracious me, that makes me very, very old indeed. But I am ready to celebrate the fact and take an age-proud stand for the age that I am going to be in April, which is 60, because I don't feel that old. And for the youngsters, I like to remind them as well, we are either all old or future old. I think the one thing about age is that we all know we're going to get older, and we're going to get, at one stage, very, very old. So it is these stereotypes around the wording and aging that we want people to change, because I think if we use those words, elderly, frail, we are looking at the very, very end stages of someone's life. And the reality is that the middle years are going on a very, very long time. So according to one of the guys in the studio, I'm really ancient, but I don't feel ancient. And the reality is we are living longer, we are working longer, we are enjoying life longer. There are more things that we need to be doing as we age to stop this aging process. So it's going to be all about staying active and fit. It's why even 10 minutes of Ageless Grace a day makes such a dramatic difference, because if you keep this body moving in simple ways, you are moving your joints, you're moving your hands, your fingers, you're moving your hips, your knees, your ankles, you're maintaining balance. It's absolutely fabulous for your body appreciates it, and you will move with ease. Denise Medved, the creator of Ageless Grace, said that she has created and given us these 21 tools for lifelong comfort and ease. And I think that's a wonderful expression to be aiming for as we age. So when I was younger, I would also agree with my young studio friends that old to me was 60, 70, 80. But as we get closer to each of those benchmarks, when you reach 30, you think, okay, well, maybe old age is 60. You reach 40, old age is 80. You reach 50, old age is 90. And for me, these days, and with the reality that centenarians are increasing in number, and having worked with some people who are 100, when I was in England, I had the privilege of going to visit a lady who still lives at home, 100 years old, still takes care of her own house, she still does her own garden, she does have people to do the heavier work. She goes down the pub once or twice a week to meet her friends for bingo, for fish and chips, and she stays active and she stays busy. And here's a real epitome of just showing you that the stereotype of somebody who is old changes totally. I watched a program recently with Jane Fonda, and she is playing a 70-year-old in the show. But I went and checked when it was filmed, and she was 77, 78 when it was filmed. So she was 78 playing a 70-year-old, and she looks unbelievable. She's going to be 80 this year, and I know I want to look that good when I'm 80. And there's no reason that you can't as well. So don't let those stereotypes of the aging words define you. Let them free you. I know that it is important that we can feel respected as we age. So what people are called and what people call you is important. And it's interesting because I work in a number of retirement homes and retirement villages and run, as I've said before, 9 Ageless Grace classes that I like to call everybody by their first name. And people are always very impressed that I remember people's names. So to me, it's far easier to remember somebody's first name, which is the name that they have had for most people from birth. It's the name that you hear most. It's the name that you respond to. And I love my husband dearly, but I like people to call me by my first name, Gina. I don't like the official Mrs. Clifford Holmes. So I have some of the younger generation who, out of respect, if they call me anything, refer to me as Miss Gina. I think that makes me feel 100 as well. It goes back to Miss Ellie and Dallas. Yes, I understand it's respect, but it's okay. You can call me Gina, because that is my name. So I've seen it in some retirement homes that they very much encourage that the seniors feel comfortable with being called by their first name, and they're addressed by their first name by the peers that they live with and by the staff. But I've also been in other frail care centres where everybody is referred to by their surname. So of course it's optional. Some people like the respect that comes from using a surname. So it's one of the topics that's going to come up. It'll be on the Facebook page. So I'd love people's opinions. What do you like to be called? Are you happy for people to call you by your first name? Would you rather be called by your surname? Which one is important to you? There's no right or wrong. It's a personal preference. I share my personal preference, as I will be on this show. It doesn't mean it's my truth. It doesn't have to be yours. But I respect. If somebody asked me to call them by their surname, they would. But if they see me call everybody else by their first name, then they want to be called by their first name as well. So I encourage that. There should always be respect for your elders. It's one of the problems that happen around getting old. I've started to watch old people walking through malls, and I know that I've been guilty of this in the past, that they don't get seen, they don't get acknowledged. And it's amazing when you stop and you catch the eye of somebody who might be a little older and frailer and a little more stooped, and you just stop and you just give them a big smile and you say, good morning, good afternoon, and their face lights up. You might be the only person who's actually spoken to them today, and they might have had no interaction. They might have come straight from their home. They might have come out to do the shopping, and they need that interaction. They need to know that somebody else sees them, that somebody else acknowledges that they exist, and something as simple as a smile and a hello makes a big difference. So take the time to recognize and see somebody else. So when you're out and about today and you see an older person, older than you, maybe 48, as this young man said, my age, 60, even older, grayer, because heck, I ain't gonna go grey. I have beautiful people I work with in retirement centres, 80 plus, who still have their hair coloured. Girls, if it makes you feel good, you do it. I also know beautiful ladies, 60s, 70s, 80s, who don't and are proud to go grey. Once again, it's whatever works for you. There is no right or wrong, because you can still feel good whatever your age. And that's what I want you to see and to realize, that we want to get away from any one-dimensional viewpoint of what ageism, aging is, because you can be anything for as long as you like. And stay fit, stay active, know that you can still have fun. The more that you have a positive attitude towards aging, and there's research that's been done on this, that not actually will you stay fitter and healthier. Physical well-being, your mental well-being has already been proven that people who have a positive attitude are going to live, on average, 7.5 years longer. So, if you are in good health and your brain is fine and functioning, then I would say the opportunity to live an extra 7.5 years longer is worth aiming for. I hope that one day I will get to have grandchildren. I don't yet. I may never. Maybe I'm going to keep doing my classes till I'm age 80, 90. I know that in America there are people who teach Ageless Grace who are in their very late 80s. I read an article in the English newspapers lately on a lady who is 99 years old and still teaching exercise classes. And I thought, yeah, I can see myself doing this at 99, because I don't have any definition and distinction and restriction of what age and the number is. So it is just a number. I will not be defined by a number. I will live my life as full and as healthy as possible, and I want to reach out and encourage you to do exactly the same. So we're going to keep active, we're going to keep fit, we're not going to let all these words around being elderly and frail I think for somebody like Faisal, our CEO, as a much younger man, 20 years younger than I am, I might seem elderly to him. But for me, at 60 almost, somebody who is elderly is probably 90s plus. And I have people who are 90s in my class who would break that stereotype because they are still fit, they're still active, they still walk energetically, they still take themselves out, they still drive, and you can still have freedom. So you don't have to be stereotyped. You don't have to think, oh, I'm getting older, I have to slow things down. I've met people who move into retirement homes, and because they have moved from maybe a big house and a big garden, a certain active lifestyle that they had where they lived, into a smaller home, that they start being defined by those walls and start living smaller, less energetic lives. And you don't have to do that either. You need to still get out and stretch your boundaries, stretch your mind, stretch your body. Do not be defined by the language of aging. I want you to know that you can be young for as long as possible. Live healthy. And as Denise says, you can live healthy and you can die healthy. Something is going to get us all at the end. I was lucky that I was able to take care of my parents. My dad was 87, and up till the last few months of his life, he was incredibly fit and active. And the same with my mum. She passed much earlier than I thought she would. She was 79 years old. But again, just in her last 6 months, she was frail. But up till then, she was independent. She drove herself. She had the freedom. And you want to maintain that freedom for as long as possible. So, language of aging, let's push that all aside. Let's stay young. Let's stay youthful. Let's stay active. Let's keep these brains moving, bodies moving. And I'm going to look forward to welcoming you back next week to another dose of Active and Healthy with Gina. Bye-bye.